It gives me great pleasure to now ask Dr. Bondar to say a few words. Dr. Bondar.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chancellor, Madam Deputy Vice Chancellor, Principal, Acting President. Thank you very much. I'd like to really thank the University of British Columbia Okanagan campus for allowing me to share the stage with my fellow graduates today. It's a time in our life that we can never repeat, and I'm absolutely thrilled from the bottom of my heart to be able to do that with each and every one of you. Thank you so much. I also want to thank my friends and colleagues on the launch platform here for all the good work that they have done to be able to share with you the knowledge base and wisdom and insight that they have, not just with their own individual subjects, but how they think. Because it's really how you think is what you walk away with. That is my feeling. Now, I've had one or two university degrees, so I kind of understand how you're feeling right now, and I won't speak too long. But I do feel that it's very important, besides connecting with you through the space experiments I did on behalf of the University of British Columbia, but also maybe to provide you just a couple of little pearls of wisdom you might want to tuck away somewhere. And the Chancellor's mentioned passion. And I would like to speak to you about passion and purpose just for a couple of minutes before they haul me off the stage. Passion is something that drives us, but it's really the strategy you put in place that's going to define you. Passion without a strategy is not going to help you in the long run, except to feel that you're doing something, but you don't want to just be spinning your wheels. You want to bring other people into the passionate view you have of the world. You want to be able to make society better and a better place to be because of that passion you've had for whatever it is. So I just wanted to give you 4 little things to think about. I firmly believe that if we all had crystal balls when we were teenagers, we wouldn't believe what was in the crystal ball. In fact, it might discourage a lot of people to look in a crystal ball. Trust me, when I was in high school, I was going to be a science and a phys ed teacher. It changed my life when I developed mumps in third-year university. I had no strategy. I was there left because my strategy I had in place had suddenly evaporated. The course that I was to take was canceled at this other university. I was going to do an honors Bachelor of Science degree, and then I was going to do this Bachelor of Physical and Health Education. They canceled that one-year program, and I had mumps. Paralyzed my right arm. I had to stop playing on the university basketball team. I couldn't coach the university archery team. I couldn't shoot a bow. I couldn't even continue my flight lessons because I couldn't move my hand up to pull the throttle back on the cockpit. You can see I can move it now. All of those things kind of like suddenly came out of nowhere. So when we look at a crystal ball, sometimes we don't know what that path should be to get to where it is that we're going to go. So I would say to you that you need to do a few things. One is that you need to think about your passion, but you need to think about how you're going to recognize the opportunity for it when it comes. And so diversity, that was also mentioned by the Chancellor, is actually the key to it all. People ask me all the time, and there's no silver bullet here, there's no way you can walk in my shoes or anyone else's. You have your own path to create. I do firmly believe that you can make luck happen, however. And I mentioned this once to someone, and they said, that's impossible. And I said, okay, I put a $50 bill down on the ground, what do you say? Hey, it's my lucky day. But if you don't pick the bill up, is it your lucky day, or have you bypassed an opportunity? So we have to be able to recognize the opportunity. We have to be prepared with the wonderful skill set you started with here, that your personal and professional lives somehow can become intertwined. And that diversity of skills has to be built onto recognizing an opportunity. And that recognition of an opportunity is diversity of time and space. Then you move from there, and you think about it. Yeah, I can see this opportunity to be an astronaut in 1983. I don't know how many of you were born there. I don't want to know right now. But trust me, and back in 1983, without the internet, it was up there, the radio, television, or a newspaper, remember those? To have an ad that you applied to. So I recognized that opportunity, but did I have the skills? Yeah, I had the skills. I could have bypassed that opportunity. I could have looked at it and said, yeah, that's something I always wanted to do, but I'm just not sure. So if the opportunity comes up, and there'll be many of them in our lives, we may have to pass up one at one particular point, and then move on to the next one and the next one. So we have this diversity of time and space for opportunity. But then we have to not only just recognize the opportunity, we have to have the courage to act. And that courage requires diversity of depth, you as a person. Because remember, the whole of your life, you're going to be creating you. I'm still creating me. There was that 1983 me when I applied to the space program, was so naive about stuff. And then there was the 1991 Roberta Bondar, who injured her neck during space training and had to have emergency neurosurgery to have her neck fused before they'd allow her to be rocketed into space. And so my whole world that I had been building up for years, pardon me, almost disappeared again. But the idea to have the courage and the depth of things you need to know that you have the self-confidence. But I also caution you, there's a little tale about your family that we already applauded today, your support systems, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, very good friends. Your support system is always going to be with you, but be careful as you drag them into your slipstream. Always remember that they have sensitivities to things that are in a world outside of where you think you're going. So try to understand their risk and their role in your life as well. So when we look at the idea of having depth and diversity of depth, to have the courage to actually take that opportunity, the final piece, the fourth piece, is the execution of it. And that requires the diversity of outcomes. So when you are well prepared, you recognize an opportunity, have the courage to act on that opportunity, and then you look at the outcomes you can have. All of those things depend on diversity. It's not just your education here at the university, in class, in lecture theaters, in a library, on the internet. It's also your interpersonal skills. It's the way you meet other people. It's the way you interact and you give them a good handshake, unless you have a tendon injury like me and I do fist bumps now. But you have to understand that people don't know you. They don't know the 2016 you. They may meet the 2000 or 2026 you or the 2017 you, but they don't meet you as we know you today. So when you meet people, you have to give them your best, and you have to listen to them as well. There is not one person whom you will meet who does not have something to offer you. And in exchange, you have something to offer them. So I leave you those 4 little pearls of wisdom from me. They've served me well in my life, and as I get older and older, and hopefully wiser and wiser, the me that I'm creating is one that even has more insight, so that the next time we meet, and you have to come up and say hello, if you see me in the airport and still recognize me without these clothes on, if you recognize me, come and tell me that you were here at the UBC and you graduated with me. I would be thrilled to give you a great UBC hug. All the best.